Now we're going to try adding and subtracting radicals. This is a little more involved than multiplication because multiplying and dividing, you can just kind of slam everything together, whereas when it's addition and subtraction, you have to have like terms. So on our notes, we have the square root of 80 minus the square root of 45. We can't just subtract these. It doesn't work. So we have to see if there are some like terms. Let's simplify. So 80 can be split up as 8 times 10, or even easier, 16 times 5. But we'll go with this. And 8 is 4 times 2, and I'm done with the 2. 4 is 2 times 2. And 10 is 2 times 5. So we're going to kind of group our things together and decide what we have in common. So we have a pair of 2's. We have a second pair of 2's. So a 2 and another 2 come out, and 5 is left inside. So we have got 4 root 5, which is another way to write the square root of 80. Now going back up here, let's simplify the square root of 45. That's the same thing as 9 times 5. And some of you might want to stop here because you say, I know what the square root of 9 is. It's 3. So it means that there's a pair of 3's hidden in that 9. And this 5 would still be left alone. So now we've got 4 root 5 minus 3 root 5. And this we can combine. If you have 4 of something and you take away 3 of that same something, you are left with 1 of that. And so you can either write it as 1 root 5, or more commonly, you would just see it written as root 5. To do the last example, we're going to take the square root of 96 minus the square root of 216. And you can see that this is larger. It's a bigger number, so we are going to get a negative, and that's okay. There's not a negative under the square root sign. We're just going to get a number that's in the negative part of the number line. So let's start by simplifying again. We're going to say the square root of 96, you can split it up lots of ways. I'm going to do this one quickly, and I'm going to say that it's 16 times 6. And I know that 16 is 4 and 4, and I'm going to stop because I have a pair of numbers. And 6 is 2 and 3, so it's not going to really be super helpful. So we have a pair of 4's. 4 comes out, a 2 and a 3 are left inside, so you get 4 root 6. Now remember, you could have simplified this lots of different ways. We could have factored it as 12 times 8, or 2 times 48, or 3 times 32. In the end, we would all get 4 root 6. So now it's time to do 216. And for some ridiculous reasons, I know that this is 36 times 6. So I'm going to already just write it that way. Now, I know that 36 has a pair of 6's in it. So I've got 6 and 6. Again, 6 is just 2 times 3, so I don't really have to write that out. And I end up with a pair of 6's that come out, and a 2 and a 3 that stay inside, so that's 6. So your problem works out to be 4 root 6 minus 6 root 6. Just like before, if you have 4 of something and you take away 6, you're going to have negative 2. So we're going to have negative 2 root 6. I want you guys to try the problem in the middle, the root 243 minus square root of 75. Do the problem out, take a picture, or use the little part of the PDF that I have and submit it to Canvas.